that simple, 4-letter word is profoundly, profoundly complex, both at an individual level. So I talked about people helping others in a way to deflect or distract from their own work.
Right.
But also, then there's another domain of helping where you or I or another can become so self-obsessed, you know, and you're about healing and about growth and about personal development. And for me personally, I kind of get that up to a point, and there's a threshold past which I really have to disconnect from that, because I find it's just another form in my mind of self obsession.
Yeah.
And so, the helping, like, it's such a loaded term, the helping professions, or, self help movement, or all of that kind of stuff. I have a very jaundiced view around all of that. Which I can get into if you wish me to, but it's such a fascinating word, that 4-letter word, help.
Yeah, well, yeah, the many questions have emerged while you were talking, but I would love you to get further into that because I think there's something very, very important to what you're alluding to at this point. I love the use of the word thresholds as well. Like, I think a certain amount of self reflection is really helpful. And
Hmm.
then if that's all you're reflecting on, it makes me wonder as to what happened in the first part of the self reflection.
Yeah, yeah.
But just from your perspective, I'd love to hear more.
Yeah, well, I suppose the great John O'Donoghue teaches us a lot about the importance of thresholds. So my sense is I've kind of started using, when I think about myself, I've started using person rather than self, and thinking about what it is to be a person. And to me, at least, in my understanding, and I suppose the wisdom traditions that I emerge from and I resonate with, and I'm called to, and I contribute within, are all community centered. So when I think about what is my personhood, I think about it in, in the South African tradition of Ubuntu, I am because we are, which is not a negation of my personhood, but a celebration of my personhood, which, it is defined by our relationship even now, and
Yeah.
our relationship with with the listeners now and in the future, and however they come to be a guest and a partner in this conversation. So for me, that idea of self growth is helpful insofar as it is purposeful. So my self growth in that sense, or my personal or personhood, it always seems to me about something that isn't just self oriented. It is partly that. And I really like that kind of principle of that I, like you, have some kind of a gift to share with the community. And I flourish when that gift circulates, but so does everybody else. And it's that sort of, it's that point of connection, that point of interdependence with each other, with other species, with our planet. That, Satish Kumar, the inheritor, really in a lot of ways, the intellectual inheritor of E.F. Schumacher's work, talks a lot about this idea that we are soil beings, that we are of the soil, and that to talk about ourselves as being apart from each other or apart from nature is to not pay attention.
Yeah.
Human being, humus, humus, these are all earthy realities which, while they touch our skin, take us outside of our skin as well, necessarily. We're not just a sack of self inside a skin. To me, that seems like, we're stating the obvious, but there could be all kinds of mind traps in modern life and mythologies, because, of course, so much of, even now as we kind of talk post the American presidential election cycle, a lot of what's happening is there's a lot of hidden persuaders who are trying to convince me that my job is to be a consumer, not a citizen. My job is to be a self that consumes, that's self absorbed or self interested, but that ultimately is market interested. And I think that's true with helping too. Just to bring this back
Right.
around, I think helping has become commodified, and my needs are of value in the marketplace. And what I'm really interested in is how we get past that stuff without being, overly naive. Of course, people consume. Of course, I consume. I'm wearing clothes. I'm wearing glasses. I'm wearing AirPods. So it's kind of obvious. Just look at the backdrop that I've consumed. But what I want to argue is that that is a threshold past which we can constantly push and should, I think, or could at least I do try to. But the other is that it's a ground worth contesting.